There are an insane number of worlds out there. And something that I kind of think about from time to time that kind of is like, wows me is kind of just thinking about the fact that nearly all of those worlds will go unappreciated by human eyes or by any living being's sort of sensory capabilities. Because we kind of have an understanding that life is somewhat rare in the universe. And so there are basically an endless number of worlds that are just out there existing with all sorts of complexities and happenings, sort of occurring on them. And they kind of just exist and just do their thing without anything that will ever be able to appreciate or observe it in any way. And to get a sense of the real scale of what I'm talking about here, so there's about 100 billion star systems in the Milky Way. And I think the current estimate is about 100 billion or so galaxies in the universe. And so if you take the product of those two things, you get a figure of around 40 sextillion, which would be the estimated number of planets, essentially, in the universe. And kind of conventionally, you would think of a world as just like a planet. But interestingly enough, moons can be just as interesting and are definitely worlds of their own. And you could probably even think of stars as their own worlds too. But if you even look within our own solar system, some of the worlds that are the best candidates for potential life are actually moons of other planets. So not even the planets of themselves are the best candidates for life. The atmosphere of Saturn's moon Titan is actually so dense and vast that the Earth's atmosphere is essentially nothing in comparison. And Titan believed to have seas and oceans of methane and ethane instead of water. But yeah, so given the fact that there's 40, on the order of like 40 sextillion planets out there in the observable universe, there's even a larger number of moons, potentially, given that planets are kind of their own kind of mini solar systems, because you kind of have the planet and all of its moons, right? Like our planet only has one moon, but there's evidence of, planets in our own solar system who have, dozens and upwards to, hundreds of moons. So yeah, it's just like insane to think that there really are an endless number of worlds out there, pretty much. One of the ways in which our star system is kind of an anomaly and compared to most out there is that most star systems that are out there and that you can see with the naked eye even have at minimum 2 stars in their solar system, and if not more than that. And so what makes, the other worlds out there in the universe even more fascinating is that for perhaps the vast majority of them, they have really complex and irregular day-night cycles and all types of potential ecliptic patterns as well. And a lot of these worlds would look dramatically different from, sort of the planets and the worlds in our own solar system. They would have like landscapes and terrain that we can't even fathom, and, skies of various different colors ranging from, yellows and pinks. And, there's the obvious point of like what life would look like on these other worlds and, how different they would be from us, because we know for sure that life forms on, other worlds would more likely than not look like anything like Earth life, and would interact and sort of sense their environment in very different, unique ways, depending on the unique environmental conditions of their planet and of their star system. So as of 2024, we've detected directly 5,000 planets out there through a range of different methods, but principally the transit method, and also the radial velocity method is really popular as well. So with the transit method, you're basically just pointing your telescope at a star system and observing periodic dips and sort of the brightness of that star system. And what that indicates is a planet passing in front of the star and obscuring some of the light. And so that's kind of a more popular way of detecting planets directly. And then there's the radial velocity method, which are basically detecting the wobble of a star due to the gravitational impact of the orbiting planets around it. And so it's kind of just insane to just sit back and marvel and just appreciate the fact that there's just so many worlds out there with unimaginable terrain and landscapes and skies of, a wide range of different colors and complexity due to their unique atmospheric compositions. Yeah, it's just really insane to just sit back and think about how that'll just never be appreciated by humans, sort of directly. But yeah, that'll be it. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think.